Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside In Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Hello. Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen, and today I am beyond excited to introduce Devin Scott for today's episode. Now, Devin is a psychosomatic bodywork therapist. That means that he is a lifelong body, mind, spirit practitioner and explorer, and he helps clients recover from trauma and integrate long suppressed aspects of themselves. Welcome, Devin.
I am so excited to be on, Jenny. I love our rapport. I'm so ready for this conversation.
Yes. So listen, audience members, both my viewers and my audio listeners, you're in for a special treat today because we titled this episode, Did You Dom Yourself? And I'm going to add today. Can you share with the audience kind of the backstory behind why we're talking about DOMs right now?
Yeah, so it was a combination of a breakup and co-star that we were talking about. And I was telling you, I've been looking at my horoscopes and co-star, and sometimes it's really um, aggressive recently. And last October, I had a breakup where I found out my ex had a secret dom for 8 months, and I had become a sex toy instead of a boyfriend. And last month, co-star sent me a message. It was like, you need to dom yourself. And I was like, harsh truth, also on a sensitive topic. And you and I just started cracking up around dom yourself as a life mantra.
Yes. And then I'm sure some of my, very little of my audience, but some of my audience does not know what that means. Will you define for them what we're talking about?
Yeah, so dom is a kink expression, largely in the BDSM community. So Dom sub dynamics are someone acts out having power over another person, and that can take a lot of forms. But in its healthiest, there's a lot of conversation in the beginning to ensure that this is fictional play. There are lots of outlets. You have a container for play where you know what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, and it comes from a place of compassion and expression. So one person takes the role of Dom, who is telling the other person what to do, who is kind of the boss in the entire dynamic, whether it's in the bedroom or out. And then you have the sub, the person who's more taking the commands.
Okay. And
Is that a fair description? I
yes,
know.
I don't,
Okay.
I personally never experienced it. I just know people who do it. And also I have a cursory understanding of it. So thank you for that definition. And for me, I've always understood that there's a big proponent of safety around it if it's a healthy relationship, correct?
Yes. So I mean, in the same way with any relationship dynamic, if it's healthy, there's the bedrock understanding that you are putting the other person into your consideration and acting from a place of compassion with them. And that is true in any kind of kink expression too. Kink is a form of play, and when it is healthy, it allows us to act out the parts of ourselves that are repressed and bring them to the surface. And this is one expression of that. You're allowing a part that may otherwise be suppressed to have voice, to have expression. You can think of it as acting. Um, and it runs through any form of kink play or relationship dynamic, if it's healthy.
If
Uh,
you're right,
and
that's
so-
okay. So when we were talking about did you dom yourself, I love this mantra because I tend to do it already in an unhealthy way
mm,
already. Because if you think about how we very few of us know how to in a healthy way speak to ourselves internally. Most of us have voices from the past of parental figures guilting us judging us ourselves inside that we're not even aware of, because that's been a big thing for me in the last few years, realizing that I've always had a constant voice. Sorry, mom, but it's your voice, my mom's voice, telling me you didn't do this good enough, or you can't say no to someone, or why aren't you doing more? Why haven't you accomplished more? Always this drive and this voice pushing. So literally, I've been doming myself for years and not even realizing it. And I think I love what your horoscope did for you, Devin, because I think a lot of us are doing that and not even aware of it.
Yeah. I I mean, I came from a background of psychotherapy into my current work where it's not psychotherapy anymore. It's more somatic dialoguing. And I'm always concerned on the voices that we're reinforcing on healing. Is the attitude of your healing self-punishing, self-punitive, coming from a place that you're not good enough, that you must do it? Is it coming from perfectionism? Because then you're not healing, you're reinforcing the wound that you must be different than you are. Whereas, like, are you approaching yourself with tenderness from a wish to be more alive and embodied? And what is that voice? And in this Did You Dom Yourself, there's this language in the Dom subcommunities of like soft Dom, which is like a very like heartfelt Dom who's like they're giving you the commands, but it's like very tender, very loving. And like, are you being a toxic Dom to yourself, or are you being a soft Dom? Are you coming from a place of wishing for betterment, or coming from a place of like wanting thinking your body as a machine that you can truly control? Do you want absolute power over yourself?
I don't because there's a lot of subconscious, unconscious things my body's doing. I don't want to be like, hey, pancreas, turn on insulin. Like, I want
Oh
it to
my
do it
God.
by itself. Like, it's like, you're doing a great job, body. Please keep doing things automatically. I don't want to have to be in charge of every single little thing. I already am in charge of my husband, my two kids, and 10 dogs. Two dogs, 11 cats. It's enough.
It's frightening the idea of like if we actually had to control our subconscious. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of just like T cells running around and like they're just taking care of like immunity for me and I don't have to think about that. And if I had to think about that, I would just break down. I would break down. It's too much.
Could you imagine? I think because I know we almost look almost like the same age, even though I could be your grandmother at this point, Devin. But however, my point is, I came from a time like when Jane Fonda was in vogue, and it was always about the body being beaten into submission by the mind. And we're shifting away from that, and I'm so grateful because, if my body hadn't worked so hard, I wouldn't be here today. I would have died countless times over because of things that have happened in the past. And my body fought so hard to keep me here. And I love this definition of the soft, was it soft dom?
Soft
Soft dom. Oh, I like that. Because I'm inclined to be the hard one, like, get your ass in here, it's good for you. Instead of like, would you like to come and do this?
coming from a place of care. I I have this story around compassion. It's like one of my best friends. And she was telling me when she was in high school, she was a diver, and she would get up to the top, and when she had to do add a new turn, there's always the risk of like slamming on the floor. And she's like, I would give myself a pep talk, and I'd be like, you know what, Nicole, if you hit the water, it's because you deserve it, because you are worthless. And I think about this story all the time because I thought it was going to end differently.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, because she deserved it. Listen, all right. So I will be level 58 in a couple months. And you would think I know better. And I'm still up late every night. And then I can't function the next day. Or my whole day will go bad because I didn't get up enough to do my very much needed morning routine. Right? I'll shortcut things and then I won't be 100% there. Things will start to cascade down the line until I stop it and finish my morning routine and things are fine. But I like this. It's like, Jenny, if you don't go to sleep earlier and be on time for bed and you have a poopy day tomorrow, you deserve it. Like, I love this, Devin. I love your, but it makes sense though, because I mean, if I
It's
think
like a
about the
hard
way
balance, right? Like
it's,
what tone of voice are you saying this in?
well, okay. When my kids were very little, because they're now Oh gosh, the 27. When my itty bitties were about 7 years old, and we lived in upstate New York, where there was like a was it like a it wasn't a jail, it was like a shelter. It was a shelter, and we didn't weren't told that they were level 3 pedophiles that were like a mile away from our house. They would walk past our house all the time and didn't know. The realtor forgot to mention that, even though she knew I had twins that were like 4 at the time. So when my kids were 7, they decided, because they were watching Pokemon so much, they were going to go on an adventure towards the city, which were the lights of the shelter. But they did not tell my husband and I. So they made these secret plans at night, one February. So this is Northeast, y'all, like cold winter February night. I left for a Mary Kay meeting. They snuck out the side door. So they had wet hair, socks, a coat over their PJs, like, and that was it. And then, like, they each had walking sticks. I don't know why they decided they maybe walk, whatever. So, and a bag of raw oatmeal and a box of chocolates. And that's what they set out to do, to have an adventure, walking through, like, old farmlands trying to get to the shelter light. And when they got back, of course they got in trouble. And then my way of, like, teaching them a lesson was to, first of all, have them look at every single piece of roadkill that I could see every time for like months after. We'd stop, be like, that's roadkill? Like, that poor animal got hit by the car? That could have been you. Like, seriously. And then my husband volunteered at the local fire department, and all the police in the neighborhoods also volunteer as firemen. So I had a high-ranking police officer come to our house with his lights flashing and come up and talk to the kids and be like, do you know that when you do these adventures, that's against the law, and your mom and dad could go to jail? To have them fully understand it, because I was like, we're not joking about this kind of stuff. And some people have said to me, well, that was like kind of mean. I was like, no, the alternative is that my kids would do it again and actually like not make it home, because they were out for an hour and a half adventuring. They told me they got attacked by dogs. They almost crossed the planting fields, which means that the planting fields have irrigation gutters, but they're 3 feet deep. So that was deeper than my kids were tall at the time. And it goes all around the planting field. So they were about to cut through the fields to try and get to the city, these lights in the distance. But they didn't want to go through roads. They were going to cut through the fields. And we were going through a slate melt. So none of the water was frozen. They would have drowned. So it's just literally by the grace of God they were safe, Devin. You know?
I'm really glad they were.
Yeah.
The story like turned. It was like there was something charming and funny, and then it's also very dark
Yeah.
and
Isn't that life?
yeah. I mean, I think these things are so hard to really think through, right? Because you need to approach it with appropriate severity
Yep.
and approach appropriate compassion. And I read The Gift of Fear recently. Have you read this book?
No.
Um, it's Gavin DeBecker, and he is quite famous for helping celebrities to evaluate the risk of stalkers and things like that. Um, a really interesting book around like how we can generally trust our fear to signal at the right times, but that we do need to feed it the right information. That we need to correct misinformation so that our brains have the right background information for pattern recognition. And so when you're a child, like not knowing that there's a place you could drown or the risk of this, like for the pattern recognition of the brain, you need to bring these things into the brain at some point so that the fear engine operates appropriately, and it's not compassionate or helpful to shield people from that information, the dangers or the possibilities. But to some extent, like that needs to come in at the right time in the right place so that it can be evaluated within the wisdom we have. I'm thinking of that.
Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?